Hello, fellow classmates, and welcome to my video, KoletinJEnsrud, and let's get started. Question 1. Create a video in which you apply your developed criteria to each piece of writing and discuss what you've learned. So, the material that I've learned from Chapter 14 is how to write a better memo, letter, correspondence letter, etc., even a complaint letter. So, and the developed criteria that I made is on a piece of paper that I will attach to this as stated you should. And it'll also have my good memo for an example and my bad memo for an example. So in there you can take a look if you're interested. If not, then you can just watch the video and listen to what I have to say. So for starters, when you create a memo, letter, and etc., this includes, but not limited to, organizing information prior to writing. You want to keep your message short and your letter short, or so forth. You just want to get pretty much straight to the point. So whether that's using a reference of some sort of, let's say a Marine Corps order, you would put that as your number one and say, get to the problem. So you want to talk about what the problem is and then develop a solution. So if there's neither a problem or solution, you can skip this step in the processing for creating a better communication path. The following step is to create a guide in a step-by-step order, describing each behavior involved that will be effective and successful. Making sure that the sequence makes a clear and concise message to the reader, so you're not diluting any sort of information. You want to also make the task a one-step process. So you want to kind of make sure that step-by-step just looks fluent and pretty clear. My next step is step's going to be called the priority step, making sure that the agenda is being said applies to the previous step. So if the step prior just doesn't make sense, like it's, brush your teeth, then the next step is put toothpaste on your toothbrush. You're not doing priority urgency first, right? So you want to make sure that priority makes sense for your step-to-steps. And priority also works in another way as well. So another step for priority is you want your step-by-step information to be more urgent than the next. So if your message is, there's a fire in the building, that should probably your first message, that the fire's in the building, not you should leave the building and then explain. I mean, I guess you could do that, but it would be better to say, there's a fire in the building, blah, blah, blah. So urgency first and then to the least importance. The next step I have written down is to be go from from a broad message to a detailed message. So you want to give the bigger picture. In the Marine Corps, I even did this for my tactical air traffic control job. You give a bigger picture of what is out there, and then you specify exactly how to take care of that bigger picture. So this should also be a priority step for your message or your written information as well. So when writing the message, for whatever reason, make sure you actually know why it is that you're writing that document or that letter, memo, etc. Make sure your readers also know why or what this message is. So you want it to be as pretty much straightforward as possible if you can. So one of my examples for my bad one, it might look good. There's the to, the CC, from, and subject, but the actual words, if you read the memo, it makes no sense. It has it talks about their peculiar their priorities. So their priorities and what they want to do within this memo. but then they don't explain anything that they want to actually do. They just talk about random things. They even quote someone, but the quote doesn't work in the location. It's very convoluted. It's really hard to understand. But you actually do get the base information, but it's a lot of like, pulling information out here and there and not completely understanding what's going on. So, and then I have a good one on there that you can gather the information from the to and the CC and the from. It has the date and the subject, and it clearly defines what it's referring to and what its paragraph is about in the subject alone. Then when you get to line or paragraph 2, it clearly talks about how ROTC cadets in this example, how some of them aren't getting the fluent training or the correct training, and in order to fix that, because that is the problem, it clearly states that it is a problem and how to solve this problem, that they will be immediately effective on a certain date. Looks like it's 2005, 2006 is when the message hits its effective date, and when that happens, they will be considered non-deployable, those individuals who don't take a certain course for the cadets and stuff. So, I mean, you can clearly see what the topic is, what the problem is, and how they solved it, and then the priority and the urgency. They also made a defined and a clear reward and negative outcome for it. So, I guess a punishment. So there's a leadership example in there as well. So, and last, after when you've finished all your steps looking through creating this memo and better letter, you want to make sure that you go through and check every piece of information. So that includes the to, the CC, your from. I mean, that's going to be your name, and you want to make sure that the date's correct. You want to just make sure that everything's pretty much how you like it, and make sure that it's all correct for wording, capitalization, the ABCs of writing, essentially. And make sure you have a unbiased message and your words are parallel. So ladies and gentlemen will work. Boys and ladies will not work. Or for that example, boys and girls would work, or examples like that. So, but yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching my video. Have a great day.